I got a question about how to sign a less likely or more likely. And so those concepts really depend on the exact sentence that you are signing and how it's being used. So here's one example. The sentence that actually the person that asked me the question included was this sentence. Kids in the city are less likely to know how to ride a horse than kids in the country. Okay. And so for something like that, because it's a comparison, you would want to set up the city and the country and then explain that kids who are able to ride horses occur more frequently in the country. All right, so that's what this would look like. So you would say the city, and because you're saying the city and not a city, you want to expand on the idea a little bit. So the city, people, or you could say people. So you're talking about, a city area where it's well populated, right? And then comparing, so switching sides, you might say country, more. So there's more, space, more land, more air, empty area in the country. So that's setting up city and country. And again, just quick little expansions on both of those to make it clear that you're talking about a city. You're talking about like the city environment and not a specific city, and the country, the area, a country kind of area, not a specific country. Okay, so that then you can say kids themselves horse ride can. Okay, the country pointing here have more. All right, or the country more. Or you could say the city less, or you could even say the city less than country. So city less than country. So any of those can convey this idea of the country has more of these kids than the city. So once again, the interpretation or an interpretation of kids in the city are less likely to know how to ride a horse than kids in the country could be signed like this. Then we have another example. So because less likely and more likely can be used in a variety of different ways in English, you may get something like this. I feel like it's less likely now that I'm going to get my master's degree. So if you were interpreting that, you may recognize that implied in that sentence is also a comparison. Less likely now means they're comparing now to what this person previously thought, right? Now is a comparison saying basically that in the past I thought it was possible and now I don't think it is so much. Okay, so that comparison or that interpretation might look like this. In the past, I thought, college, master's degree, maybe I will. Okay. Now, I doubt it. All right. Once again, the sentence is, I feel like it's less likely now that I'm going to get my master's. And the interpretation of that could be, okay. So that's just two examples of how you could potentially interpret the ideas of more likely or less likely. Always remember that you want to listen to the entire idea being stated and then understand the meaning of the entire idea, not just individual words, but the entire idea, and then come up with an ASL version of that entire idea.